What's going on, y'all? I told you guys, as you can see the title, I told you I was coming back later this week. Gave y'all a whole weekend to see the movie Queen and Slim. So now it's time to talk about it. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here. Hopefully not that long, but let's just go ahead and get into the movie, okay? I haven't went back to go see it again, but I'm pretty sure I might go back and see it this weekend. When I get off work tomorrow. Today is Thursday, so I might go say it again. I really enjoyed, like I said before, I really enjoyed the movie. And I know that there have been some criticisms, okay? But for the most part, I have seen a lot of positive reviews for this movie. It made over $15 million this weekend, which was good. I believe it's like an independent movie too, as well. And it probably wasn't even in as many theaters too. Okay, so that's a plus. For Lena Waithe, and this is her, first big screen thing, movie, whatever you want to call it, that she wrote for. That's really a good look. So congratulations to Melina and to Lena. But now that we got that shit out the way, baby, like I said, Queen and Slim, from what I got, let me tell you what the moral of the story was. At the end of the day, what we learned out of Queen and Slim, bitch, everybody want to be Bonnie and Clyde, okay? And sometimes we force them to be in Bonnie and Clyde because of the situation. That was one, because that's basically what the whole show was coming, what the movie was basically, kind of portraying. And it just so happened to be end up that way. It's not that they started off trying to be like, oh, I'm be a ride or die for you, okay? I need a ride or die bitch, all right? I'm your ride or die bitch or whatever. Okay, I'm here for you, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, I'm gonna be there for you. If them cops take you down, bitch, they gonna take me down too. Okay, they gonna have to pry my ass off of you. No, it wasn't like that. Girl, and the main thing of this whole shit was, stay off the motherfucking dating apps, okay? Tinder is the goddamn devil. That's what it was, all right? Because look, had it not been for Tinder, okay, and this dating app, bitch, they would not have met each other, and they would not have gotten together, okay? So basically, I can't even remember. Did they actually say what their real names were in the movie? Girl, we just gonna call them Queen and Slim, okay? Because that's the title of the movie. The movie starts off with the date happening in process. All right, they're at this little diner that Slim has always gone to, and right off the bat, you just see the personality difference between both of them. And I guess it goes to show that opposites do eventually attract sometimes, because they were so opposite of each other. You have Queen, she's this lawyer. She's so headstrong. She's so independent. She's so, I got to do it by myself. She's so, when she's looking at the lettuce, and it was different instances that was going on in the movie that was pissing me off about Queen. It was a lot of stuff that kind of turned me off, okay? But at the same time, I was like, now I said, oh, you's a little boss bitch, because I'm that type of way. Like, girl, talk down to me a little bit, but don't do it all the goddamn time, okay? Because at certain instances, that shit probably would turn me on. But then at the same time, it'd be like, bitch, I want to slap your ass, okay? It was certain parts that I just really wanted. I said, girl, are you really that picky? Do you really have an issue with everything? She was in her feelings about, right off the bat, in her feelings about the fact that when they ordered the food, he ordered scrambled egg, they gave him fried egg. He didn't want to take it back because he knew the waitress and what she was going through, and how he always gave her discounts or whatever because she's dealing with a whole bunch of kids. I think like 4 kids at home, and the situation is messy or whatever. So he gives her his discount at home. I mean, at the store, to get her groceries and stuff like that. And he just the type of person that's very like passive. He don't like that much drama. He's very family oriented. You got her, she don't care about her family, and it's not necessarily that she don't care about her family. She just don't have strong ties to him, okay? And we find out later on in the movie where the contentious relationship between her and her mother is very lack thereof. They could never really get along with each other. She went years without talking to each other, and when they do talk, then they talk on the phone for a minute, and then it be months go by before they talk again. She moves away, and the situation with her uncle and the mother and all that stuff, the way that came about, that was deep too. But we'll get to that because Mama was annoying me for a little bit. Okay, I just had to put that out there. I was like, girl, loosen up. She was so uptight. That's what it was. She was wound so tight. And I said, it took for a guy like him to come in and to just loosen up her buttons. Okay, shout out to the Pussycat Dolls. Y'all swear y'all here for them coming back. But okay, girl. But no, we not finna do that. We not finna do that because they had some hits back in the day. Well, I should say Nicole Sugar featuring the Pussycat Dolls dancers had some hits back in the day. But we not finna do that. But anyway, so they at this diner, they get ready to go. Basically, we found out that Slim had hit her up weeks ago on Tinder. She had a bad day. She didn't want to be alone or whatever. So that's why she decided to finally hit him back. Okay. And I said, that's bogus. That's bogus. But anyway, and then still wasn't finna give up no ass at that. I said, I thought she was finna, like a one night stand type of thing. When they was driving up in the car and all that, they was finna go home. She was like, you still ain't finna get no ass or whatever. You thought you was finna have sex with me? And he looked like, oh no, girl. But in reality, he was like, damn, ain't that about a bitch? That's fucked up. But let's just get to, that part was irritated me when they went on the run and they was eating. Girl, when she said, do you have to eat like that? Because I can't eat my food when I hear other people eat and stuff like that. Like, girl, it was just like, put your headphones. Okay, well, they ain't had no headphones. I said, I was with him. How you eat then? Because he was smacking, though. But some of y'all look at the mukbang, so it don't bother me no more because I hear that shit all the time. But, I understand that it's an irritant, but I ain't never heard nobody say I can't eat because somebody else is smacking and making all this noise. I said, girl, you, whew, okay, girl, But another theme of this episode of the movie was like legacy and stuff like that, and this journey. And I feel like this journey that they went on, it was a journey, an unfortunate journey, a forced journey, and it brought about a lot of enlightenment and self-discovery as well, and so as they're going on, what wound up happening for them to go on the run, as we already know, they get pulled over. They were What happened is, truth be told, I don't want to blame Queen, but Queen would have got her ass slapped, okay? Because what you don't do is touch my phone. I ain't got nothing to hide up in that bitch, but I just don't like people touching my stuff if I don't tell them to touch my stuff. And especially if you ain't my bae, okay? If you ain't my bae, you ain't my boo, you ain't my whatever, don't touch my shit if I don't tell you, okay? And you ain't finna give him no ass or whatever. No, not saying that she was obligated or whatever. Y'all ain't in no relationship or nothing like that. He just giving you a ride home, okay? And you touching his phone, trying to do the directions and all that stuff or whatever, trying to change the music and stuff. Girl, no. He trying to grab his phone, what made him swerve into, swerve. Mind you, did you notice that in the movie? Every time that they're driving, there's barely nobody on any of these roads. Even when it first started the initial whole thing, incident, there's really nobody on the road, okay? And so they swerved a little bit, and then all of a sudden a cop come out of nowhere. All this swerving was just so he reached over trying to get the phone, okay? And he gonna say, the cops basically pulled him over and said, do you know why I pulled you over? Because you swerved and you missed either you missed a stop sign or you swerved and something like that. And she was doing the most. She was doing the most. On the one hand, I understand because she's a lawyer, and it was a good thing that she was there so that just in case something happened that he was trying to put some unnecessary charges or whatever, she can be there. But it also kind of backfired because of her attitude, and she was just so combative and ready to just go head to head with this cop. And that's how it be at times. That's exactly how it be. We have to be on alert. We have to know our stuff because we don't never know which way shit might go. You got people that's going to be passive just like Slim and just let things happen the way that it happened. You got some people that's going to be quote unquote combative just like Queen was. And I hate the fact that it's a black woman and we got to put combative with it. But she was being, a little aggressive. Not meaning aggressive like she finna beat her ass, but aggressive trying to figure out what's going on and why. Get out of this car. Why you're doing this, okay? And so when he goes back to the car and put, his license plate in, talking, it's trust God, and that was another difference. He was all up into religion and about family. Like I said, she basically was an atheist. She didn't believe in God, but and it was crosses that was throughout the whole movie that we saw, and I I guess that was a point. God is everywhere. I don't know if that's what it was about, but that's what it made me think of. But no, they go look at pull him up, and what the cop told them, basically trying to make it seem as though that he probably was drinking. And then when when he told him to get up out the car for no reason, mind you, when he radioed the charge in or whatever, they didn't even really say anything back. So it was no reason for him to tell him to get out the car. And then you trying to say, is you drinking? And he started laughing. And then you say, what's funny? He said, because I don't drink. All right. And then because you're not getting the responses and the reaction out of this black man that you expect to get. You're not getting him being hostile. You're not getting him trying to come at you or whatever, but you're getting her trying to, what are you doing this for? What are you doing that? She's asking the right questions. It's just a tone or whatever, but you can just kind of feel the buildup coming. Okay, that something ain't gonna be right. And at that point, he's asking to look in the trunk. Why are you all up in the trunk? And I was so concerned. And I said, boy, look up in that trunk and see what he doing. Because I said, I know you're not about to plant something on them. Okay, please don't do that. Because all he had was some Nike shoes. I said, he just bought them shoes. And he ain't even gonna get a chance to fucking wear them. God damn, that's so fucked up. Fucked up. Then, she gets out the car. Okay, she gets out the car, and that's when everything goes fucking haywire. And he tells him to get down. She gets out the car because he told him to get down on his knees and to put his hands behind his back or whatever, interlock his fingers and all that shit. And it was like, for what? For what? Why are you doing all of this? And she knew that it was wrong, but I'm like, girl, if you're gonna get out the car, film that whole shit, okay? That's what you should have been doing. But shit, that didn't matter because the dash cam was filming everything, and they still was you can clearly see when you eventually see the dash cam, you clearly see that the officer shot her first. Even though she came up there, he pulled out the gun. All of a sudden, you acting scared or whatever, and you gonna shoot her, and then all of this shit goes haywire. And dude shot in self-defense, and it was a good thing that she was only grazed, but it was a mess because that could have ended up so much worse. But now, because he was trying to protect this girl that he really did not know, who was in a sense somewhat being a little bitchy to her, now they're on a run. And now she went from being a lawyer to being a regular black person that's on a run for survival. Okay, she put that lawyer hat to the side and said, listen, we got to go. But her loyal, the fact that she was a lawyer, it was coming into play a little bit, saying, well, if you do this, this is what's going to happen because you're a black man, and this is what the judge going to say, this is what's going to happen, you're going to go to jail for this and all this stuff. They're not going to hear it or whatever. So she knew they didn't have a fair shot because they shot a cop. And not only did they shoot the cop, they killed the cop. And he kept on saying, but I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. You are now. And in the eyes of the law, you are now. Okay? And as they're going off and, trying to just, get through what they need to get through to get to where they need to go, it was just like, that's when the suspense started happening. They're driving. They're running out of gas, okay? I said, you're on a run and you're gonna run out of fucking gas. I mean, on the one hand, I get being distracted, but oh my God, I was mad with her. Motherfucker. And then the one person that they do pull over, because they finna go down to New Orleans to her uncle, the one person that do help them just so happened to be a freaking sheriff. And I was just like, oh my God. That just, I said, look at D.A. Denver from How to Get Away with Murder. Girl, he used to be on The Shield too. Okay, I know that face when I know one. And next thing you know, the call comes through when they go to get the gas, and they just look so, they they look so obvious like they were in distress because her leg was bleeding. She's in all white. You got all this blood on this all white pantsuit, and then you trying to go get the gas. You're limping. You're giving excuses about you cut yourself, and it could have looked like something different. He go get the gas, and what really pissed me off was the fact that they left their wallets and phones and stuff. Well, she threw the phones out. Okay, I said that's good. That's good. She said GPS ain't about to be tracking us. And his whole thing was he just wanted to go home. He just wanted to see his family, and he just really wanted to talk to his daddy. I said, oh, sometimes family will fuck you up and you won't even realize it, okay? And this is for the good because he was all concerned about his family. And that's what tripped him up at the end, girl. Girl, I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, they get to that goddamn thing, and I was just so mad that they left their wallets in the car. Now they got the ID and everything. I said, where the cash at? Where the cash at? Girl, you better be glad that the sheriff was nice enough to go ahead and buy the little gas can and the gas. But then that's when he get news that they was on the run. They didn't say what their names were, but the way they was acting and the fact that it was a black couple, I was like, oh my God, so we're going to profile them, and that's what it was. And, I was glad that they did not shoot him and kill him, but they just put him in the trunk, and I wondered if they ever find him in that trunk. And they took his car. They was hungry. They go to this, they wind up going to this goddamn restaurant called Chubby's and asking the chubby boy to go to the, get them some food. And then, when next thing you know, the, dash cam video is out, and they got their pictures out and everything. The boy's father come up. They accidentally hit him with the truck. And at first, like, I heard some mumbling and grumbling about, what eventually wound up happening. And I thought the dad to that boy was going to be the one who did it. Because he was too, we all with you, whatever, pro-black and all this stuff. The jokes that was flying between the boy and the dad, he talk about some, this is what I do with my hoes. You ain't calling with my bitches and all that stuff. You better not be calling my mama no bitch. I ain't calling your mama no bitch. I'm talking about my other hoes. I got hoes. Shit like that. I guess they put that in there for comedic purposes to break up the seriousness a little bit, because that is how some of us are. We will find a way to be serious and comedic at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So that was it. We really didn't need it, but then I didn't mind it. Okay, so as they're going along, I will say this movie was beautifully shot. And coming from somebody that has been on the road and seen a lot of this stuff, like, a lot of the grasslands, a lot of the plains, a lot of the landscaping, that was very beautifully shot. I will say that. Shout out to Melina for that. When they finally get down there to New Orleans, and then they get to Uncle Earl, who is a pimp, okay? And, he was hilarious as hell to me, too. And then we get into the reason, because at first he ain't really want to fuck with it like that, because they weren't fucking with each other like that in real life. And we understood why later on, because she was like, you owe me this favor, and then the reason why he owed her the favor was because she helped get him off and represented him when he accidentally killed or contributed to the death of her mother, who fell down the steps when they was arguing over something, and then she fell down the steps and she wound up basically busting her head open and bleeding to death, and so we got that. And him and his hoes and the cop and all that shit, they had to go on the run. And they was trying to go down to his friend's house, his army buddy. Okay, and when they get there, it's a white couple, and I guess this is to show us that not all white people are bad people, which that is true. Okay, not all black people are good, not all black people are bad, not all white people are good, not all white people are bad, not all black couples are good or whatever. But on the way that they was on their way getting there, one of the scenes that really stood out to me and that I was talking about in the other video was when they went and the car overheated. The car overheated and they had to go to the shop, and the guy wanted basically all their money, and it's because he knew exactly who they were. And you have people that do that. You have people that do that of all color will try to use your situation to their advantage, okay? You are in dire need to get out of here, but so I won't say nothing. I'm going to charge you a little bit extra. And that's basically what he did. Had his son go take him around, whatever, and you see how easily impressionable kids are, and you see how he was looking up to them as if they were idols and people to be admired, you know. And then he goes later to this march in honor of them, and the little boy was just so intense. His facial expressions, the way his veins was popping in his neck, and it was just a lot. That moment right there really got me. Mind you, it was cute to see them at the little earlier they went to the place to go dancing and all that stuff, and that's when we see the tide start turning, where she wasn't, this tide kind of started turning when they was at the uncle's house and they had to sleep in the same bed together, and she started rubbing the back of his head or whatever, rubbing his head for luck and all that stuff, and he was saying how he don't believe in luck and all that whatever. And then we see her trying to ease up a little bit on him when they go to the dance. Even though she didn't want to go in there, they eventually do. And that, they almost had a moment where they kissed a couple of times, but they had to leave because the people knew who they were. But the lady there, you got people that's not going to rat you out. We're going to be here for our people, okay? That's what we're not going to turn the black men in. We're going to be here, okay? Fuck all that. We're going to protect them. That's what that scene was giving me when she was like, you safe here, okay? But then when they were on their way to Georgia, Savannah, to see the couple from the Uncle Earl, and they stopped this protest happening, and the little boy, like I said, it just shows the impressionability of, I don't know if that's a word, but baby, I just made it one. And how impressionable kids are, and how, we become so impressionable, and we as people can be so strong in our conviction, strong in our belief, and how what we can accomplish and stuff like that. But baby, that scene, oh my God. And this is when they finally had sex. I said, oh, in the car, after they go visit her mama at the grave. I said, y'all had that emotional, sorry, pity sex right then and there. Okay, but it was full with so much passion. I said titties and ass everywhere. I enjoyed it. But honestly, like I said, I wanted to get back to what was going to happen at the march, because I just kept feeling something at this protest is not going to go 100% correct. It's not something that's going to pop off. And sure enough, when that boy was talking to that cop, a black cop at that, and was trying to tell him to go home, he was just trying to it was like he was almost looking out for him, so that he won't get in trouble and anything like that. He won't get a record and all that stuff, and he was just looking out for him. And the boy pulled out a gun and shot him. I don't know how I felt about it. I really don't know how I felt about that. But once that happened, I said, oh my God. And then they say that the boy wound up getting killed because he shot the cop and they killed. I said, oh no. That was one moment when that whole scene was happening. I was on the brink of tears, okay, baby? I was trying to hold back. I did not know what was going to happen. I don't know why my emotions were going haywire like that. I don't know. I just know my eyes was watering up. I'm blinking them away. I was just so... Oh, it was just so deep for me. It was so deep for me. And then, when they found out, when they got to the couple, and the couple was a white couple, and I'm so glad it wasn't a savior story, okay? That a savior story, meaning that a white savior story, I should say, because this couple helped them, but they did not save them, because they still wind up eventually meeting an unfortunate fate that we already kind of figured what's going to happen anyway, but we kind of wish they could have went a different way, with that nosy ass bitch of a neighbor. I saw that hoe come outside, and as soon as she started walking down them steps, I knew what was up. Okay, first of all, she probably ain't never seen niggas up in this neighborhood like that anyway, and so she like, what's going on? This looks suspicious. Let me call the cops. And that's exactly what she did. That motherfucker had the house tricked out when he said, hide up underneath the bed, hide up underneath the bed. I said, bitch, where? Where? Girl, they was underneath the floorboards. I said, come on, Underground Railroad. That's what it was giving me. I don't want to go that deep. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? All the tricks and the hiding places they had along the way in the stops and stuff. That's what I'm referring to, okay? We ain't trying to go, even though there was white abolitionists that helped and all that stuff. But we ain't finna go that deep. But, yes. And when they finally got out of there, baby, that scene when she jumped out that window, you gonna tell him to bend your knees, bitch. Did you bend your knees? You fell right on your goddamn shoulder and dislocated that bitch. And when they had to pop that motherfucker back in and you saw that it was dislocated, I was like, oh my god, no, okay. But then when they got into the car and that cop that was in the that black cop saw them, and that black cop said, go ahead. Once again, we get another black cop that's trying to help out in his own little way, you know. And I was just like, okay, that's interesting. And as they were going to the next place that they were supposed to be going to get the plane and all that stuff, and I think they finally get to the place, and then when that nigga came up to the door and he had that shotgun and them fronts up in his mouth, I said they was in Florida for real. You ain't even have to tell me. I said I just knew that they was in Florida because he looked like every other Florida nigga down there, okay, that I done seen in my life. I just said, you know what? And at this moment, I honestly, when they were sitting down there with the white couple and they said that you have a $250,000 bounty on both of you guys' head. So it's 500,000 altogether. And when she was like, that's it? Girl, shit. I said, you think real highly of yourself. I like that. But when I found him, it was just weird. It was just weird. Okay? The way that he just popped up out of nowhere, the way that he had the shotgun, the fact that he kept on saying that he didn't have a phone on him. I said, what nigga like that don't have a phone on them in this day and age? And then when he went back to the trailer and got in the car with them and took him back to their trailer, I said, and he pulled out that house phone. That's what solidified that shit for me. I said, a fucking house phone in 2019, bitch? I know some of y'all, a couple of y'all grandmamas and mamas still probably got house phones, but bitch, what? I said, do they even sell that shit at the store anymore? They probably do. I just don't be out there looking for it. But I was just like, a house phone? A house phone? And the way that he was talking, I knew right then and there he wasn't talking to nobody on that damn phone, and it was a setup. It was a setup out of this world, and when we found out that it was so fucked up. You up here saying all this good shit, oh, we out here for you, you gave us hope and all this stuff, and woo woo woo, and then you set their ass up and left them on that tarmac to get killed and die. You led their asses to their death for some fucking money. And I know we was all pissed off about that, but truth be told, this happens. This happens. We may not hear about it a lot, but we know that niggas be turning on niggas all the damn time. Okay, our own just because we skin folk ain't always our kinfolk. That saying came true. Okay, it ain't always white folks or other people turning us in. It's our own selves, our own people, whatever, our own community. When we supposed to be down and coming home and being one whole called to them and being all for one or whatever, we be the one that turn on each other. And that's basically what wound up happening. And it wasn't because they actually did wrong or whatever. No, it was because he wanted the money. That's all that it came from. We thought about, he was thinking more so about himself. And we have had situations. People been in situations where we seen it's people are out for self. That's all that it was, out for self. And then when they realized what was going on and all them cops came up there and they had finally had this connection, and she was basically like, earlier they was talking about what legacy is because he didn't like to take pictures. That picture that they took on that car was hard as fuck though. I said, and then the black and white version of it, bitch, yes. I was just like, okay. My feelings was just, at this moment, I was sitting there like this. Could not say a word, could not move, because I was just like holding my breath as to what's going to happen, because they just gave you that moment, and for a few seconds you thought that maybe they'll get out of this, maybe they'll just go to jail. Okay, at one point you really actually thought that maybe they'll get out of here, You saw that plane, you was like, yes, they gonna go to Cuba. They gonna get out. And then I thought, these niggas, they not gonna get out. They not gonna get out. Mm-mm. It's not gonna happen like that. They going to jail. I never thought that they would actually die. And if they did, I didn't think that they would go out the way that they went out. I thought it was real fucked up. And this is what I'm saying, where it could have went different. Had that trigger happy bitch not pulled that trigger. Okay? When they held and as soon as I knew it was over, when they held hands. And then she was like, I'll be your legacy. I was like, oh my God. At this moment, tears. Tears. I don't know what it was, but when she said that, it just broke me, bitch. I was like, oh my God, because I just knew right then and there it was over. See, I'm getting emotional right now because it didn't have to go that way, bitch. I mean, she just pop. They weren't even telling her that she didn't, and it what was making me so mad about it was the fact that every time they mentioned them, they kept on saying they were armed and dangerous. Yes, at one point they did have a gun on them, but it was the cop's gun. That's who they had on them. And then when they was on the tarmac and then that cop shot her, and the way he reacted as if he had been in love with this girl for years. Okay, for years. They went on all this journey and it ended like this. Oh my God, and picked her up and just walked and stood with her. And y'all took that as a threat. He has a whole ass dead body in his arm, his love right there in his arms. What is the threat to you at this moment? Why did you have to shoot them? Why did you have to shoot him in a way that they died together? I was just like, that shit really hit me hard. That shit made me so fucking mad. It reminded me of Set It Off when they shot up Cleo. I said, did it really take all them goddamn bullets? Did it really take all them damn bullets? Killed that man while his baby was in his arm. I said, that shit made me so mad. And then what made it even worse was when they panned the scene to the scene when the nigga was sitting down there on the couch just counting all the money. Just counting all the money. I said, this motherfucker, shoot his ass next. Okay? Baby, when they said, I'm going to be your legacy. Can I be your legacy? Oh. I'm banning this movie. I'm banning it on all type of platforms. I'm banning it on my phone and I'm banning the hard copy. Girl. The movie was just good. It has so many lessons in it, and it just showed you. Like I said, I'm so glad that it wasn't no savior type of movie. And I understand. I'm with the majority who did not like the fact that they had to die, but I understood why it had to happen. If we're following the Bonnie and Clyde thing, yes, Bonnie and Clyde met their fate by hella guns, bullets by the cops, okay? That's what wound up happening. And that's exactly what wound up happening to them. But the fact that nigga sold them out, that shit, we got to be careful. We can't, everybody ain't here for us. Everybody ain't here for us. And let me just say this. Uncle Earl. Uncle Earl. Remember on Johnson Family Vacation when they was talking to Uncle Earl and he kept on calling him Uncle Earl. Uncle Earl was trying to get a sponsorship deal with Sean John Sweat's tracksuits, okay? Because he had them in every fucking color. But baby, when he came out there in that black Sean John Sweat tracksuit with the fucking furor at the funeral, bitch, he fucking did that shit. And see what I got from that whole scene when they did you notice how the mortician or whatever who was doing the body, how he just felt dejected and downtrodden by doing that, and then how they basically immortalized them after death. They was doing that in the process of doing it while they was on their journey, but they became more immortalized. And it's going to show that, a lot of people who have gone through this have become symbols of this fight, symbol of the Black Lives Matter, symbol of this, or have become gain more respect in death. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, it's just so good, y'all. It was so fucking good. Y'all tell me how y'all felt. What points stand out to y'all, okay? Because I know we all can agree on fuck that nigga with the gold fronts, okay? And his gums were so... I said, nigga, you need to go to the goddamn dentist and get that shit checked because the shit look fucking infected. But, fuck you and your gums, okay? Girl, Queen of Slim was it. That was one of the best, one of the best movies I've seen this whole year. I will say that, okay? It really had me going, and it was so beautifully and simply shot, and it wasn't so overly complicated that you couldn't grasp it. It was so good, y'all. But yeah, if I think of anything else, y'all think of some stuff that I missed out, some points that I missed, or whatever, put it down in a comment, and let's discuss, what did it say to you. What were the morals that you got out of the story? Oh, it was so good. Y'all, I'll see y'all later. Peace.